Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to, once again, Draw Something with Andy. That's me. This is now week 5 that I'm doing this. I'm super jazzed for tonight. The last couple weeks I've been feeling really good about, so I'm really looking forward to all of your requests that come in. So let me go ahead and just start out by just drawing something of my own. Let me see here. Hey there, William Harding. How are you doing? William Harding on YouTube. I'm pretty well. How about you? All right. So let me see here. I'm looking at my. I'm gonna go ahead and start by drawing one of my characters from a book that I made a couple of years ago that I never actually fully published. I was actually one of my side projects right now is I'm working on getting it fully cleaned up, and I'm gonna colorize it and post it to Facebook, where I posted a lot of my comic books that I've written. And so yeah, I my social media handles that are right over there. So on Instagram, I just post my artwork. I just post little snapshots, excuse me, of my artwork. On Facebook, I post both that, and I also have a lot of my books that I've made over the years. I have books going all the way back to grade school that I've posted. And one of the ones that I haven't posted yet that I made fairly recently, and I never officially finished it or published it on there because I felt like it was kind of long-winded. It was ultimately ended up being 100 pages long, and I really went kind of ambitious with it. I tried to have it be both no narration and no intelligible dialogue. All the dialogue is through these kind of cryptic illustrations. I was really trying to go like really avant-garde, I guess, with it, and it just kind of ended up. I showed it to somebody who basically looked it over and was kind of like, they were kind of like, it's a first draft. I've never really felt compelled to really go back to it though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish cleaning it up and then just post it in its entirety. And it's kind of rough, but I feel like it was worth sharing just for the illustrations. So what that book was about is it's about an alien boy whose family adopts a pet called a fuzz-eye, and that's what I'm drawing right here is a little fuzz-eye. So it's got a little furry body, and it's got an eye, just one big old eye that has this fluffy halo around it. And it's basically a dog. Just a full disclosure here, I've never been a fan of dogs. I've never been a fan of dogs. I've never felt super comfortable around them. I've never really felt. I'm just not a dog person. That's all. I feel like that's the most. So yeah, growing up, I mean, I just was just kind of like this is just this boy who is surrounded by these creatures, and he doesn't really he's just not into them, but they're really interested in him. It seems like dogs tend to go after the people that aren't giving them all the attention and love they want. So that's kind of what this is. This little alien boy is not liking these dogs or these creatures, and it's just kind of him going about just dealing with the various hassles of just him not liking dogs, but they're everywhere, so he just kind of has to learn to cope with it. And I keep saying dogs, but it's really these creatures called fuzz-eyes. I'll even write it down here. It's just, there we go. So I'll just give him a couple little noodle legs here. He's kind of spider-like. And yeah, that's basically it right there. So go ahead and date it. I haven't been dating my drawings, which is something I feel like I should be doing. I feel like that'll make it easier to remember when I did them. Also add my initials there. I'm gonna start doing this for all the requested drawings I get. All right, so there we go. There's my first drawing of the night. It's a fuzz eye. I'm gonna check check to see if there's anyone else watching here. Okay. All right. William Harding. I honestly don't watch a whole lot of TV. There was one show, there was a show that I did actually watch fairly recently. I've watched a couple. I did watch The Mandalorian. That was really good. I watched WandaVision. That was also really good. A TV show that I recently watched after putting it off for a long time was The Good Place, which I didn't think I was gonna like, but I ended up enjoying way more than I thought I would. So I don't know if I'd call that my favorite, but it's definitely probably one of my most recent favorites. I've also liked Gravity Falls, Stranger Things. Those are good ones. Those are ones that I've watched. I'm not the biggest TV watcher. And I saw you put in a request for Bernard, Loki the Mask transformation. So Bernard as the Mask. All right. I'll go ahead and start that. All right. So let's visit our old friend Bernard again. Last time we saw him, he was just a friendly ghost, or a friendly but shy ghost. Now he's going to be turning into the mask. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start by drawing his hat here. Alright. So normally so when I was doing him last week, when I was drawing Bernard last week, I kind of gave him these sort of anxious eyes. Just these little backward sixes, I guess. But considering he's got the mask on now and he's going to be a little more hyper, I feel like I'll go ahead and give him some more manic, really big eyes. There we go. Yeah, the mask works in mysterious ways. If I remember correctly from the movie, Jim Carrey's this mild-mannered character, and then he puts the mask on, and he becomes vintage Jim Carrey, just running a million miles an hour, loaded with energy, just bam, 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 bam. And so, even for someone like Bernard, who's he's pretty he's gonna kind of do a 180 here and just go bouncing off the walls. I'll even go ahead and draw him bouncing off the walls. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna draw a wall here and I'm gonna have him bouncing off of it, just to really emphasize that Bernard is going crazy. And after all he went through last week, I don't blame him. I mean, geez, he went into a honey tree and got stung by bees. He got stuck in Winnie the Pooh's front door. And now the mask is kind of drawing on. I mean, he got turned into a ghost. I've never explained how he got to that point. I'm not going to go as far as to say he died from the bee stings. But, I mean, that's a lot to go through in one evening. So, no wonder he is suddenly going insane, and, well, we again have Bernard just losing his mind. So yeah, go ahead and draw him bouncing off the wall. It's funny, I just realized I never drew Bernard's legs last night. The first drawing, it was obscured by the little black rain cloud. The second one, his legs were stuck behind Winnie the Pooh's front door. And then in the third one, he was a ghost, so his legs were replaced with a ghostly tail. So I never drew his legs. So, yeah, here's his legs now. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and draw his arms here. I'll definitely be coloring this green. So just imagine this is green for the moment. I will be, as I usually do, I will be drawing all of the requested drawings I do tonight. I'll be coloring them and then posting them to the social media accounts to my left here. Alright, so go ahead and have him bouncing off the wall. Bounce. And yeah, I think that about covers it. There we go. I got Bernard as the mask. So let me go ahead and write that down. That was for William Harding on YouTube. He requested Bernard the Mouse from Disney's The Rescuers. And it looks like he's got another request here. Roxanne from a Goofy movie covered in mud. All right, I can get on that. I see I got a couple other people watching. By all means, throw me a request. I'm here to draw whatever you request me to. Don't be shy. Like, I will literally draw anything. I've drawn already in the first couple weeks of the show. I've drawn a giraffe with a top hat and a monocle. I've drawn a cat playing a piano. Last week, I drew a giant cat and dog war with a cat with a machine gun gunning down a dog flying a helicopter. So there's really no limits. Like, you can literally request practically anything, and I'll try to do my best to do your request justice. All right, so there we go. For William Harding on YouTube, here is Bernard as the mask. And he's literally bouncing off the walls. Or the wall. Just this one wall. Alright. So let me go ahead and get on to William Harding's next request, which is Roxanne from a Goofy movie covered in mud. I'll try and do my best with this. Let me see here. So I think I can picture Roxanne in my head. Goofy movie was one of my favorites as a kid. I watched that movie all the time. I used to go to I went to someone's house for daycare for a year or two, and they had that movie on VHS, and I watched it probably every single day. It was on constantly. All right, so let me see if I can draw Roxanne here. Okay, this is looking a little weird. The nostrils weren't there. I know the nostrils weren't there. Okay, yeah, so I know she has the red hair going on. I'll go ahead and just give her just kind of that expression. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I'm getting requests in from if I'm not, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any requests from anyone. Looks like I'm not. Okay. All right, back to what I was doing. So we got. All right, so yeah, we got Roxanne, and I'm just drawing her out at the moment. Then I'll add the mud. I know she has pretty big pupils. Disney characters often do have those big eyes. Which I generally like. I like big eyes make for bigger expressions. I think that's definitely a good thing to strive for. All right, so yeah, we got. So I think that's basically Roxanne. Has the little dog nose, the big eyes, the smirk. Let's go ahead and draw her legs here. Go ahead and give her some sneakers. High school girl. That seems like a. Not even really high school. It just that seems like an appropriate thing. It seems like something Roxanne would wear. She'd wear some, these sneakers. And all right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add the mud. I remember in the movie that Roxanne's dad is like this giant Hulk dog that doesn't even say a single word. He's just like. So, knowing that, I would be scared for whoever it was that threw mud on Roxanne. They're gonna have a giant killer Hulk dog tracking them down in the near future. I can't imagine her dad's gonna be too happy with this situation. All right, so there we go. Go ahead and just draw a few more splatters of mud here. Go ahead and add a stain or two onto her shirt. Just not the best not the best thing to happen on your day. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, there we go. We got Roxanne. And I'm actually going to go ahead and, since I have some time, I'll go ahead and draw. I'm going to try and draw what I think I remember Roxanne's dad looking like. Just this massive Hulk. So let me see here. I think he had a buzz cut. I think he had a buzz cut. So let me go ahead and all right, let me see. I think he has like these big cheeks. All right, gonna go ahead and draw his fist here. Just in that, he's not quite big enough. He needs to be a little bit bigger. Let me go ahead and make him a little larger. Gonna go ahead and add a skull and crossbones to his shirt, and because since Goofy and Roxanne and her dad are all dogs, I'll go ahead and should actually probably go ahead and add a couple of ears to him. And yeah, since they're dogs, go ahead and have a skull and crossbones with dog ears to complete the picture. All right, there we go. All right, so I'll go ahead and just finish him up here. Draw his legs. He's got some scary looking boots. You don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught under one of those. That would be ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and just give. I'm gonna add some spice to the boots. It seems like it's appropriate. I'm thinking of this is more inspired by Dennis from the SpongeBob movie with his giant spiked boots. The villain from that movie, the first one from 2004. And yeah, I think that'll do. Go ahead and add some stink lines to the mud. And yeah, there we go. That is Roxanne covered in mud. And her dad looking none too pleased about the mess that's on his nice clean floor. And a really unlucky person who's gonna probably be tracked down by this pal fairly soon. And I pray that it's not Bernard. Bernard's been through enough already. Though I wouldn't count it out. I mean, he did cross over into the Winnie the Pooh universe last week, so he could totally jump forward a couple decades into the Goofy movie universe. But yeah, let me go ahead and bring up the full view here. There we go. Roxanne in mud. Roxanne covered in mud. Her big scary papa looking mad. And yeah, there you go. Alright, so let me see. Okay, I'm not seeing any new requests in yet, so I guess I'll just go ahead and Alright, let's see. William Harding, I saw your request. I'm just now looking closer at it. Roxanne from a Goofy movie covered in honey after being covered in mud. Oh, okay. So I was, you know what? Let's have, I'm going to just keep weaving this Disney crossover web that has formed out of these, out of William Harding's requests. I'll go ahead and incorporate the beehive that Bernard accidentally knocked down while he was in the honey tree trying to escape from Madame Medusa's alligators. This is a thick web. It's just growing and growing. All right, so I'll go ahead and draw Roxanne again. Go ahead and she's not gonna. She was kind of just wearing that shy smile in that previous drawing. She's gonna look a little less pleased this time around because she's now gonna be swarmed by bumblebees because she's covered in their honey and they want it back. Yeah, this is why it's definitely much safer to just buy honey at the store. You try to get it out in the wild, you're running a pretty big risk. All right, so let me see. Go ahead and oh, wow. William, thank you for that. I completely forgot to change back to the multi-view. Thank you. All right. So yeah, go ahead and have Roxanne just kind of flailing her arms, just, and she's in a bit of a pickle here. I'm gonna start. I'll go ahead and finish drawing her, and then I'll go ahead and draw the bees that are currently swarming her. All right, let me see. Have one of her legs kind of up in the air, because she's also, her legs are also going crazy. She's just going, just not having the time of her life, that Roxanne. All right, let me go ahead and start tracing over her. All right, hold on just a second. I'm going to do something here really quick. All right, back to what I was doing here. So I'm just going to trace over the arms. So yeah, like I said, Goofy movie was definitely one I watched a ton as a kid, and I watched it fairly recently, and it still holds up. I appreciate how '90s it is. The most of the Disney movies, most of the big Disney animated canon features that came out during that decade, the Renaissance, were all set in kind of sometime in the past, sometime not in the present day, and then you have a Goofy movie that is totally 1995 ish. I mean, it's 1995 in the Goofy universe, which is kind of fun to see. It really is just a lot of it is really like a time capsule. It very much is a product of that era, and I like stuff like that a lot. Alright, so let me see here. So she was covered in mud, now she's covered in honey because that hive that pesky Bernard knocked off the honey tree fell right on top of her. So, thanks, Bernard. So now Roxanne is being swarmed by bees. Not a position I'd like to be in. I am fortunate enough to have never been in that situation. I've gotten stung by or stepped on a bee once or twice, and it was absolutely horrible. I never want to experience it ever again. Thankfully, I think the last time was like probably 8 years ago, so I'm doing pretty good. And yes, that's right, William Harding. Actually, the 25th, I think, came out in '95, so it was last year was its 25th anniversary. This is actually its 26th anniversary this year. But man, movie's almost as old as I am. I'm 28. All right, so I'm getting these bees drawn here. They're whizzing around. So let me just go ahead and add some honey here. On top of the mud that was already there, this is, like I said, Roxanne's not having a good afternoon. And I'll go ahead and draw the broken honey hive that's now just sitting there. Go ahead and I have some honey spilt out of it. There we go. Have a couple more bees trailing out. Alright, so there we go. We got the beehive broken open, and we got the bees swarming around Roxanne because she's gotten covered in honey. Always knew she was sweet. Alright, and that is another request for William Harding. I think that's the third request William Harding has had tonight. He first requested Bernard as the mask, then he requested Roxanne covered in mud. I added in her dad. The horrifying behemoth that he is, standing there not too happy. And now we have Roxanne not only covered in mud, but covered in honey from a hive that, once again, our old friend Bernard from the Rescuers knocked out of the honey tree. So let me see, just gonna date it here and add my initials. And there we go. Let me go ahead and bring up the full view, and hopefully this time I'll remember to change it back from the full view. But yeah, there we go. I'll go ahead and just add this here so it's connected. But yeah, there we go. All right, so let's see here. I still don't have any requests, so I'll go ahead and think of something else to draw. So earlier I drew the fuzz eye from my book that I'm working on posting. It's a rough draft. It's not. I'm gonna call it a rough draft. I'm not gonna call it like an actual finished book. It's just a rough draft. But since I already drew the fuzz eye, I'm going to go ahead and draw the main character, the alien boy. And thank you, William Harding. I forgot once again. Silly me. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to start out by giving him his eyes. I feel like usually, the way I drew him is I drew the eyes and then I kind of built the rest of his character design around that. So basically, he's kind of pear-shaped. Has this single little stripe on his shirt. He's got these big old eyes. I'll just give him a smile. He got some spiky here or there. Give him a couple of noodle arms. And then add his feet. Add those pointy shoes. And yeah, that's the character. I gave him the name Borx. B-O-R-X. And the fun thing I added to these alien designs, I'm actually going to draw another pose of him because there's a certain other feature with him that I really liked drawing, which was, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing the hair this time because his eyes are actually, they kind of pop out of his, head. They're attached to antennae. There we go. He's got his eyes popping out of his head. Go ahead and once again draw the stripe on the shirt. Have his eyes, have his arms shooting up in the air. Once again, draw those pointy shoes. And so yeah, this is him when he's kind of freaked out. He's got his eyes popping out on antennae. I I have trouble saying that word. I think it's in 10A. I think that's the pronunciation. So yeah, there we go. There we go. We got him and just when he's happy and relaxed, and we have him when he's kind of freaking out. And then this is the creature I drew earlier that's kind of like the dog of this universe. And yeah, that'll do it. All right. Let me just check something here again. All right. Okay, so I think I'm going to just draw another one of my characters just to pass the time. So a couple weeks ago, or maybe even last week, I drew. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I drew the character Hush the Lord of Silence from a book I made called DJ Mike in the Sum of All Mirrors. I'm gonna draw another character from that book. This is a character named Middle Eight, who the middle eight is part of the song that's it isn't necessarily the bridge. It's kind of that part where it breaks away from the normal structure of the song. It's sort of like usually a wild burst of energy. So in line with that, middle eight in the book DJ Mike, the Sum of All Mirrors, is this kind of this oracle, you could say. So she's like kind of all-seeing and all-knowing, and she's very energetic. And she actually is a literal music staff. It's 8 bars. So she is actually an 8-bar span of music. But she normally takes the form of this kind of charming, plump lady. Wait, go ahead and draw her hair here. Go ahead and see if I can trace this over. All right, so I'm going to draw on the stripes for the hair. So yeah, as I draw her body, which is literally her 8-bar staff just kind of wrapped up in itself. Look at each of these layers or whatever you want to call them. It's one big music staff. Got the 3, 4 lines where the notes would usually go. I've actually even drawn some notes in the book. At the time DJ Mike meets her, the music is. There we go. Go ahead. Forgot to add the stripes up here. The lines. All right, and there we go. That is Middle Eight. She has these little stick arms. And yeah, let me go ahead and just write down her name there. Alright, and there we go. Let me bring up the full view, and I swear this time I will remember to change it back. Let me go ahead and add a little more texture here by coloring in certain parts. Normally the end of a music bar is black, and that's the end of it right there. And her shoes are also colored in black, and as are the notes. But yeah, there we go. There's middle 8. And there we go. Back to normal view. Alright, still haven't gotten any requests, so I'll go ahead and just keep drawing stuff. That's fine by me. Alright, so another book that I made a long time ago, back when I was in high school, was a book called Island Paradise, which is about the island of Ewam. I bet you'll never guess how I came up with that name. I spent hours upon hours mulling it over in my head, just trying to think what would be the perfect name for a mysterious island. Ewam. I swear, it took me so long to come up with this. But anyway, so it was basically about an island that's ruled by a queen, who I'm going to start drawing here. Her name was Queen Ola. I'll go ahead and draw that. I drew another one of my queen characters from, no, it's not Spanish, it's just Ola. Let me, it'll be a lot easier to read if I put the paper down like that, so you can see it. Queen Ola. So I drew another one of my queen characters a couple weeks ago, Queen Pearl, the villain that's the evil teenage ice queen that's trying to melt Antarctica. And this is definitely on the other end of the spectrum. King Ola is a very benevolent ruler. So I'll go ahead and add her crown here, and then I'll give her her hair. Also go ahead and add her the royal staff of Ewam. Which yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly how I drew it in the book. Kind of has a palm tree top here to accentuate the island feeling. And there we go. And she has a grass skirt to further accentuate the island feeling. And yeah, I'll just draw her face, and there we go. That's Queen Ola of Ewam. Let me bring up the full view. Alright, what else can I draw here? I'm going to go ahead and draw another character. Actually, I'm going to, not so much a character as much as a ship. Another book I have is The Great Space Toaster, which, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure when I came up with that title, it was literally, I was thinking of The Great Space Coaster, an early 80s kids show that I've seen clips of. I've never watched a full episode of it. Apparently it's never gotten an official home release, but there's still episodes of it and clips of it flying around on YouTube. But you want to look, you want to look for a, an 80s time capsule. There you go. But yeah, this is a one-letter difference. This is the Great Space Toaster, and it is a toaster-shaped spaceship. Go ahead and draw the two knobs on either side. It's got its initials plastered on the side of it. It's got its little exhaust pipe here. Only instead of exhaust, it's just shooting out a big old flame. So in the book, the Great Space Toaster is fighting against a evil alien race called the Disastrous Duck Ones. Literal duck people. And they fly around in a ship that, oddly enough, resembles a duck. Go ahead and draw the flame coming out of the back there. And it's shooting a big old scary fireball out of its mouth. And of course, its landing gear, it has little duck feet. So cute. It's a cute little destructive spaceship. Alright, so yeah, it's the Great Space Toaster fighting against the Disastrous Duck Ones. And one of the characters on the ship is a droid that's named Droid. I didn't come up with the most creative name, but basically he's this little robot dude that helps with stuff around the ship. He's wearing the standard Space Toaster uniform. He's got these two stripes. Instead of the usual round hands like Queen Ola has here, he's got these squarish ones that are angular. He has angular hands. They're not really squarish. They're more like trapezoids, actually. Drew the eyes a little bit high. So for whatever reason, he has these wrinkle lines on his forehead. It's an interesting design choice. I'm not sure what the manufacturer was thinking when they came up with that, but you know what? Whatever. I won't judge. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just draw his mouth here. Draw little circles inside the eye holes, and then I'll draw the eyes. And he also has he has regular feet, but they can switch out in favor of these rocket jets. I even draw the smoke coming off of them. So there we go. That's Droid. And this is the Great Space Toaster. And the Disastrous Duck Ones. Alright, so let me go ahead and bring up the full view. There we go. Alright, let me see if I can get another clean sheet of paper, and I will change the view back. Almost forgot, but I managed to remember. Okay. What else can I draw here? Gonna go check something here really quick. Sorry, just I'm gonna go ahead and draw a lizard. Once again, I'm gonna start off with the eyes. Oh, hey, Brian, how are you doing? Great to see you. Just hanging out here, drawing some of my characters. Alright, so the lizard's got a little antenna thing sticking up out of its, behind its eyes. Give him this little smile here. Add the pupils. Hey, Brian, by all means, drop a request in. If you have someone you want me to draw, I can totally do it. It may not look perfect, but I can definitely try. Alright, so I got the arms, I got the body, the torso. Go ahead and draw the legs. Oh, okay. Brian, can you draw a group of poodle moms enjoying a picnic by the seashore? So Brian, are those like poodle dogs that are mothers, or are you talking about like poodle owners? I'm assuming you mean just poodle dogs that have their puppies with them enjoying a picnic. He's got these little spikes on his limbs. Alright, dogs with puppies. Good. Cool. Alright, let me go ahead and finish this up here. Mainly just adding the spikes to all the limbs. And yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright, so got a request for Brian Brinkerhoff on Facebook. My Uncle Brian, in fact. And he wanted to see a group of poodles, poodle moms specifically, enjoying a picnic by the seashore. So I'll go ahead and start on that. So I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing out the picnic mat. Then I'll start drawing the poodles. I think the ears are maybe a little more, not really so much going out like that as much as just kind of hanging around like this. So I'll do like that. Yeah, that looks more like a poodle, I think. Maybe. Maybe a cartoon poodle. Alright, so I'm drawing the arm. Go ahead and draw the other arm holding a nice refreshing glass of melonade from homestarrunner.com fame. I mean, I could make it just regular old lemonade, but I feel like it should be melonade, so I'll make it melonade. So yeah, I just got our melonade there. Go ahead and draw another poodle here on the other side. I'll start adding more details here. I'm just drawing the outlines at the moment. All right, got the ears. I go ahead and have this. Go ahead and have this dog grabbing a sliced sandwich. Been cut into triangles because triangles are really the best you can have. That's the best way to cut a sandwich is into triangles. You know, I hear there's like trapezoids or pentagons or circles. But I think triangles are definitely the best way to go when cutting a sandwich. So I'll go ahead and add some of the sandwich filler there. Yeah, also, they should probably give the dog some legs. It'd be a little weird if they didn't have those. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a dog here from the back. And I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and start tracing these over and definitely add some poodle-like fur, big, poofy. All right, there we go. Tracing over the melonade. And there we go. Got the arm. Go ahead and trace over the eye. All right, there we go. Got the poodle. Now I'll go ahead and draw the other poodle here. Or trace over. I already sketched it. I'm now tracing it over, making the lines more solid and visible. I'm not really satisfied. Let me erase that and try again. Gonna make the body all fluffy and poofy. Trace over this triangular sliced sandwich, diagonally sliced sandwich. There we go. All right, and I'll go ahead and draw the third dog here. Got the body. Go ahead and draw the arms reaching out towards the mat. Brian, I'm glad you like the poofy. I like the poofy too. All right, so let's see what kind of items these poodles are having at their picnic. We'll go ahead and maybe just have some standard items. Bag of chips, bag of potato chips. So instead of ruffles, these are actually waffles. Yeah, waffles. Waffles have wedges. There we go. All right, so you got potato chips. What else is a picnic staple here? Let's go ahead and have some donuts. But these are special kinds of donuts. These are bone-shaped donuts, of course. Go ahead and add some sprinkles onto them. All right, I'll go ahead and add one more to the plate, which doesn't exist yet. I'll go ahead and draw the plate. So yeah, we got some bone-shaped donuts with sprinkles. All right, what else can I add to this scene? I can't think of anything at the moment, so I'll go ahead and come back to this. For right now, I'm gonna go ahead and add to the scene of them being at the beach on the seashore. Go ahead and draw the land line or the water line. This is the tide line. This is where the water is coming up to. And this is the horizon. Go ahead and draw the sun here. I'll do what I did last time I did a beach drawing. I'll go ahead and just add some seagulls. Oh, Brian. Brian knows his beach rules. Yes, watch out for the sharks. Dun 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 dun. You thought it was safe to go back in the water. Think again. Alright. Just realized I forgot to add legs to this dog. Again, kind of awkward. Sorry, pal. Go ahead and just add some speckles to signify that this is all sand. Actually, gonna go ahead and go the extra mile and have a warning sign here for the shark. So yeah, Brian, I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook, but I've done a couple of shark drawings during the first few weeks of my show. First week I did a shark in a business suit, and in the second week I think it was the second week, I drew a chef shark that was cooking not chipmunks over a roasted fire, but frog monks. They originally started out as chipmunks, but then I kind of snapped and out of insanity created a new species called frog monks, which are like chipmunks that have frog-like heads. It wasn't as terrifying as it sounds. Watch out for sharks. Gonna triple underline it. That's very significant. Oh yeah, Brian. You should try them with some cinnamon. They're really good with cinnamon. Not that I would know about that. I mean I've never eaten frog bunks. So what are you talking about? I've never eaten that. Okay. All right. So we got the sign here. Go ahead and add a little bit of tufted grass there. Actually, I'm not really sure why you would have that on the beach. No. Scratch the grass. This is just kind of buried in the sand. All right, draw some more speckles. Oh my gosh! I just got an idea. So we already got our some crunchy, starchy food here with the waffles, but just remembering that Chef Shark drawing from week 2, I just got another idea for another crunchy snack these poodles could be chowing down on. Frog Monk rinds. Because Frog Monk rinds. Rinds. R-I-N-D-S. Rinds. You got pork rinds, and then you got Frog Monk rinds. All right, so there we go. We got our Frog Monk rinds. That's harder to say than it should be. It seems harder to say than it should be. Go ahead and add a nice checkerboard pattern to the mat, picnic mat. And go ahead and add some just some water texture here to the water out in the background. Hopefully you've been seeing all this. Brian, how do you know? Do you know these? Do you know these dogs? So yeah, they got their donuts, they got their waffles, they got their Frog Monk rinds. There's a sandwich. I don't know what's in that sandwich. I don't know if I want to know what's in that sandwich. But yeah, there we go. We got some Poodle Moms just chilling at the beach, eating their junk food. There's this totally inconspicuous sign to correspond to this totally inconspicuous little critter here in the water. May not be so little. And this was okay, so this was a request for Brian on Facebook. He wanted to see Poodle Moms having a picnic on the seashore. And Brian, I hope that this was what you had in mind. We'll go ahead and bring it up on the full view here. Go ahead and all right, so what do you think, Brian? Do you like it? I'm going to go back to regular view here. And let me go ahead and check something. All right. Brian, I'm glad you like it. Chat's pretty quiet if you want to throw in another request. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and just think of another one of my characters I can draw. Let me see here. Boy. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a creator's block. I'm alright. Let me see here. I can. Another book. So another book that I made that I'm planning on. I'm working on a remastering. I call it remastering. I'm just there's when I write my books, or when I've made my graphic novels, my children's books. Over the years, I've figured out ways to make them look better, and so I go back and take the ones that I made before I knew more about coloring them in and making them look sharper. And I just kind of give them the treatment to put them on the same level as the books that I've made more recently. And one that I'm making right now for my niece, my 2-year-old niece, her name's Natalie, is called When I Go to Sleep. And it focuses on a boy just kind of sitting in bed, and he's like, why do I have to, his mom tells him to go to sleep every night. He's like, why do I have to go to sleep? I'm sure a number of kids have probably asked that question once or twice. So what he comes up with is basically that the world turns into this paradise for the kids' parents every night when the kids go to sleep. And these giant monsters also show up. And those are the monsters that, if the kids are found out of bed, then the parents, the monsters go ahead and grab the kids and drop them back in bed, and they spray them with this memory wiping substance that makes them forget that they were even up or that anything even happened. As far as they know, they were just asleep the whole time. And the reason that the kids have to stay in bed while the parents are out having fun is because when the morning comes, the monsters, I guess, kind of start going savage, and they start destroying stuff. So it's up to the kids dreaming to ultimately get rid of the monsters. The monsters are fought by the power of dreams, and part of that process is these workers who ride around in these dream vacuums that suck up the kids' dreams and then convert them into this brute force that'll fight off the monsters. So let me go ahead and draw one of the workers in their dream vac. So I got a little vacuum pipe there. I go ahead and add the steering wheel. Brian, if you're still watching, by all means, drop another request for me. I'd love to draw it. Alright, so there we go. We got the dream hyphen vac. Go ahead and add this little status bar or meter thing that in color it's like it kind of goes the spectrum from red to yellow. So there's orange here in the middle. I don't remember exactly how it looks in the original book, but go ahead and just add a couple extra little gauges and stuff just to make it look more mechanical. Got this, there we go, got this little monitor here, like a heart monitor, but it's not. And I got a little antenna here on his head, a little dot ball there on an antenna. And he's just kind of working away. Life's a dream. Now I'll go ahead and draw a kid here that's in the middle of sleeping. So yeah, if you go to my Facebook account that I have there, facebook.com/tollboothpublishers, I have the book posted there. You just go to the photos and go to the albums, and you scroll down a little ways. It was from 2016, so it's you kind of have to scroll a little ways down to get to it, but it's there. All right, so we got the kid sleeping, and he's having his dream, but his dream is also getting sucked up into the dream vac. So there we go. Yeah, you know, maybe it's just my personal taste, but this vacuum kind of sucks. Alright, so yeah, there we go. We got the Dream Vac Worker. And yeah, let me go ahead and bring up the full view here. And there we go. Alright, so by my watch, it's 8:19 p.m. I'm probably going to go ahead and stop at 8:30. So that gives me about 10 more minutes to draw more stuff. So let's see, William Harding on YouTube. I see you've made a couple requests. So Roxanne eats honey after she is covered in honey, and then she gets sucked into a honey pot. All right. Are you talking about the honey hive? Okay. I'll go ahead and do that second one where she gets well, no, I can do both. I can probably do both of those in the next 10 minutes and then go ahead and call it a night. So let me go ahead and get that started. We got another epic Disney character going through serious turmoil series. After Bernard's wild adventures last week, we got Roxanne from a Goofy movie. Getting splashed with mud and then eating some honey, and then Bernard knocks the honey pot or honey hive out of the honey tree. And then she gets covered in honey, and the bees are swarming around her. Then she decides to eat some of the honey. And then, as I'm going to draw eventually, she gets her head stuck inside a honey hive, and it's going to be pretty intense. Let me just go ahead and pull out one of my earlier drawings for reference so I can remember exactly how I drew Roxanne. Okay, there we go. So yeah, she goes ahead and just Sorry, distracted. Go ahead and yeah, she's so she's staring down at her hand, looking down at her hand, and she's stuffing her face with the honey from the honey pot, the honey hive. Excuse me. See here. Yeah, she was wearing shorts before, so I'll keep it consistent and have her wearing shorts in this one. This is all happening in the same 1 hour window. Maybe not even that. Maybe like it's only been like an hour, and Roxanne's already gone from getting splashed with mud, to having a beehive fall on her, to getting covered in honey, to being swarmed by bees. Oh, and I just figured out how. So the beehive already fell on the floor, fell on the ground, and broke open. So, in order for it to end up on Roxanne's head, I'm gonna go ahead and have the bees form a very scary alliance. They're not so happy about. They're not too happy about their workspace being destroyed. So as revenge, Bernard actually managed to escape, or he turned into a ghost, or ran away to Winnie the Pooh's hideout, whatever. So I guess unfortunately Roxanne, poor old Roxanne, is gonna be taking the brunt of the burden. These bees are not happy, and they want someone to pin the blame on, so they're gonna go after Roxanne. I almost feel bad drawing this, because she didn't do anything. She's totally an innocent bystander in all this. But yeah, so the bees are lifting up the beehive, or the broken beehive pieces. You can kind of see it quivering as they're trying to lift it up. It's not the most steady grip, but they're making it happen. And I just realized I forgot to trace over Roxanne's. Let me go ahead and do that. Alright. Just tracing over. There we go. Alright. About done tracing over it. Oh yeah, just go ahead and stop and check something once more. Alright. Alright, back to the drawing. Alright, so yeah, there we go. We got Roxanne stuffing her face with honey, and we got the bees lifting the hive up, the remaining pieces of their hive up, and they're about to do something pretty drastic, which I'm going to draw right here. Let me see. move the paper down so you can see it better. All right. It's coming together here. So drawing the beehive, which the bees have now carefully reassembled around Roxanne's head. That is rather unfortunate. As you can see by her pose so far, she's none too pleased to be in this situation. Alright, there we go. Go ahead and draw a couple big exclamation marks, because that would be quite a shock. That exclamation mark looks a little off, so I'm going to go ahead and redraw it. Always draw the triangle part. There we go. There we go. Alright, that looks a little more on point. Actually, I should, in order to keep the continuity going, I gotta make sure I draw the mud and honey that was already on her. Alright, just adding the stripes to the bees and then adding their stings. Go ahead and color their heads in. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Forgot to add stripes on that one. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Alright. So yeah, we got another, let me see. Alright, so this was another request from William Harding on YouTube. Let's see, gonna add the date, add my initials, and there we go. So, let me bring up a full view here. So, what we have here is another series of drawings where a Disney character goes through some rough stuff. So for starters, we had so Roxanne from a Goofy movie gets covered in mud, and her big scary dad isn't too happy about it. And then the beehive that Bernard from Disney's The Rescuers accidentally knocked out of the honey tree during his own adventures. And then it ends up landing on the ground, and then the bees then the honey lands on Roxanne, and she starts getting swarmed by the bees. And then, as you see here, part 3 is she's kind of calmed down a bit. The bees are kind of off doing something seemingly innocuous while she's just chowing down on some honey. And then they close the beehive around her head, and she looks pretty shocked. So yeah, that is quite an adventure. I'm sorry, Roxanne. Hopefully the honey will wash out. Actually, why am I kidding? You can just eat it. It's good. But yeah, so that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. So aside from William Harding's requests, that created that crazy trilogy with Roxanne, I also had one from my Uncle Brian. Let me just bring that up in full view one more time. It's a couple of Poodle Moms at the beach, enjoying a picnic. You got your waffles instead of ruffles. You got your bone-shaped donuts, and you got your frog mug rinds. You got watch out for sharks. You got the shark you got to watch out for. And you got some seagulls up in the sky. And Brian, it was so great to see you. I hope you'll tune in again sometime. And thank you so much for your request. I will have this colored and posted on Instagram and Facebook pretty soon. Been really shoddy with switching between the views tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna have this on my Facebook and Instagram, which I have right there, by next week for sure. And yeah, so that's all I got for tonight. Thanks everyone who tuned in and watched. I will be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. So have a great night, everyone.